We'll continue that same question, practical problem number 4, balance sheet we have to do. So draw the format of balance sheet. Balance sheet as at 31st March 2020. Always you must write the column headings also. We'll start with capital, that's in the order of permanence. Capital figure you take from your question, it is 80,000. Then we have a net profit, isn't it? Yes, net profit of 32,100. Hope you all got the same figure. Net profit of 32,100. Then less drawings, after that we will write the final figure. So less drawings amount here is 18,000, within brackets you write. Now you draw a small line here in the inner column and then write the final figure, which is 94,100. See whether we have any other non-current liabilities. Here we have a non-current liability, that is bank loan, and you have to write it in the inner column because there is an adjustment, a hidden adjustment for bank loan, that is outstanding interest on loan. You can write there in the P&L. See, when we did that P&L account, this particular item you can write here outstanding interest on loan, because adjustments here, that interest is an adjustment, it's an implied or hidden adjustment. When it is an adjustment, it is meaning is it is outstanding. Okay, so you write it as 2 outstanding interest on loan, that is the first effect of outstanding interest. Later when you do the balance sheet, this outstanding interest must be added with this bank loan of 25,000. Okay. Then what else we have? Just go through the items in the trial balance. See whether we have any other non-current liabilities. No. Then what we can write is current liability, that is creditors. Creditors amount is 18,900. Then capital we wrote. Okay, all other items we recorded in P&L account other than assets. Now go through adjustments once again. You have to record wages outstanding here. So always go through adjustments once you finish trial balance. Then bad debts and provision, that's further bad debts and the new provision which will appear in the balance sheet but on the asset side. You have to deduct it from debtors. Then rent is paid for 11 months, so outstanding rent is there, or rent outstanding we have. What was 1 month rent? It was 1,000. It's there in your P&L, you can just take from there. One month rent, was it 2,000? It's 22,000 by 11, isn't it? 22,000 by 11, yes. So it is 2,000. You can just take it from your P&L. Just turn your page and see. Actually, I don't have answers here. So you can just look into your P&L account and write the answer. So to outstanding rent, you write this. Sorry, not to. There is no prefix for the balance sheet. It is outstanding rent 2,000. Then what else we have? Insurance premium paid per annum. That's a prepaid insurance which should come on the asset side. So that we will write later. It's an asset. Then bank loan we have written. The interest also we have added. Depreciation we will do on the asset side. So the liability side is over. Now we will start with the asset side. Start with fixed assets. We have here machinery 50, furniture 14. and with that you have to consider something, that is depreciation. So less depreciation. What is depreciation on machinery? It is 5,000. Then you have furniture. From that also you have to less depreciation. It is 700. All these you have written already in P&L account. Just take the amount and write. No need to compute again. Okay, fixed assets are over. Just see whether you have any other fixed assets. No, we don't have any other fixed assets. Now we'll move on to current assets. When you start current assets, always remember to write closing stock first. And it is given as adjustment. It is 64,000. Then you can write debtors, which is having adjustment. So write the figure in the inner column, 2,600. From that you have to deduct first further bad debts. Then you will deduct the new provision. Further bad debts, here the amount is 600. So now it becomes 20,000. It is 20,000 positive 20 less new provision. New provision we have computed already. It's there in your P&L. It's 1,000. So outer column you can write 19,000. Okay. Then, so now we are writing the current asset section. Closing stock we wrote. See whether we have any other current assets. Cash in hand is there. Cash in hand would be the last item. Always before that cash in hand, if you want, you can write. No problem, even if you don't follow the exact order. Make sure you have written fixed assets first, then current assets. Between current assets, you can change the order. So cash in hand we wrote. Now read adjustments once again. Closing stock we recorded. Wages, bad debts provision, rent we recorded. Insurance premium, that is prepaid insurance, which is an asset. All these you must remember. For that there is no other way but practice. Insurance premium, the amount we have computed in P&L, that was 600. Then depreciation and furniture already we have recorded. Yes. So now your balance sheet is over. See whether it tally. Balance sheet total is 1,43,400. You have to add and see whether you are getting the same. If you follow this order means first you have to look into the trial balance, then go through adjustments once again. If you follow this order, you won't miss out any item. Automatically balance sheet will tally. Then now we will work out practical problem number 9, which is on page number 19.71. As usual, read the adjustments first. Closing stock is given. Then further bad debts and new provision is given. Always you have to see whether existing bad debts and old provision given inside the trial balance. Here we have existing bad debts 5,500. So you put a tick mark against that. Then old provision is there 9,000. Did you see? So all these we have to consider. So put tick marks against existing bad debts and the old provision. Then depreciate machinery. So put a tick mark against machinery. Provide 7,000 as outstanding interest on loan. Same like this question, I mean practical problem number 4, but only thing is here it is given as a specific adjustment. Previous question it was hidden adjustment, but the treatment is same. So put tick mark against loan. Machinery also you have to put a tick mark. Then against debtors also you have to put a tick mark, because bad debts and provision will be affecting debtors also. So put tick mark against debtors. Okay, we will start, but I will not be doing the trading account because you know how to do that account and no adjustments in trading account. So you must first finish the trading account, then you should start P&L. Now I will be starting with P&L. So the heading, its common heading is trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2020. Give the column headings particulars amount when you do the trading. Understood? Now I will be starting with P&L. When you start with P&L, again no need to draw the format, just continue the same. So trading you must complete. Now the P&L I will start. Here are we having a gross profit? Yes. So with that gross profit I will start the P&L account. By gross profit brought down, it is 1,79,600. Now we have to see all indirect expenses given. The first one, general expenses. You move in that order given in the question. In the general expenses indirect, which is 47,400. Then the next one is, okay, we have put a tick mark against machinery because we have depreciation on machinery. So that you have to write now. Depreciation on machinery, that's an indirect expense. So debit it here. 10% on machinery, it is 9,340. Just cut 1 0. Then insurance is given, no adjustment for that. Directly you can write in the outer column. So to insurance 13,150. Then wages should come in trading, not here. Bad debts is there, yes, bad debts must come here. The existing bad debts we will write first. 2 bad debts. Previous question we were not having existing bad debts. Here we have existing bad debts. With that, what's the formula you learned? Add further bad debts. With this, it's not over. Further bad debts means one which is given in your adjustment. So now it is 3,000. Sorry, add further bad debts. Then what you have to write is add new provision. Finally, we will write the amount in the outer column. Okay, all these amounts you add together. No need to draw line now. So bad debts, add for the bad debts, add new provision, but the new provision is not given, the amount is not given. You have to compute 5% on debtors, and debtors amount is 62,800. 62,800. From that, always remember you must deduct this further bad debts of 1,800. So now the new provision will be 3,050. Yes, the new provision is 3,050, which we will add here. Now the total is 10,350. From that you have to deduct one item, that is old provision. This we discussed in illustration 7. Old provision means one which is given inside the trial balance, so that we have to less, excluding the old provision. So what's the formula? 2 bad debts, add for the bad debts, add new provision, less old provision. That must be learned as a formula, and all these must come on the debit side of P&L. Then, okay, what next? We have loan, we have an adjustment, that is outstanding interest, which should come here on the debit side. So you write here to outstanding interest on loan, and that interest is directly given 7,000. So always when you see a tick mark, you have to read the adjustments immediately. Sales, purchases, motor car. Motor car is an asset for the firm, not an expense. So it shouldn't come here, it should go to balance sheet. Provision, existing bad debts we have deducted already we considered. Commission, credit means it's an income which must come on the credit side. So write it as by commission. That's why they have written within brackets credit. If it was simply commission, nothing was mentioned, you can take it as paid. Again, you have to see whether it is in the debit or credit. If it is in the credit column, means it is income. If it is in the debit column, it means it is paid. If nothing is mentioned and if it is simply commission, consider it as paid. Not only commission, whether it is rent, salary, interest, all these items, if nothing mentioned, consider as paid items. It should be debited in P&L. Here it is credit, so it's an income. That is 13,200. Then the next is car expenses. The name itself says it's an expense. So it's an indirect expense, whereas car or motor car is an asset. Car expenses you can treat as indirect expenses. That must come here in P&L. So to car expenses, the amount is 18,000. Then bills payable, cash, bank overdraft. Yes, charity is there, which is an expense again. Understood? Don't treat it as asset and all. It's not receivable item. This is the amount you paid as charity for charity, which is an expense for the firm. So debit it. Then closing stock we would have recorded in trading. Then further bad debts, new provision we considered. So go through adjustments once again. Depreciation we recorded. Outstanding interest also we recorded. Yes. So now your P&L is over. Find the balance. Here the P&L balance is 95,510, which is a net profit. So you write to net profit, transfer to capital account. Now you can close this. Then we'll start the balance sheet. So all these adjustments you will have to consider again in the balance sheet. Here the total is 1,92,800. And now you start the balance sheet format. It is balance sheet as at 31st March 2020. Start with capital. It's 2,45,000. Add net profit 95,510, less drawings 20,000. So outer column you write 3,20,510. All these you know how to write. To loan, write in the inner column because it's having an adjustment, that is outstanding interest. The amount is 7,000, so it is 85,800. Then go through the trial balance again, see whether we have any other non-current liabilities. Non-current liability is over. Now we will move on to current liabilities. In case if you don't write bank loan as second item, you missed out that. You wrote creditors, it's okay. You write bank loan as the last item. No need to cut the entire question for that. So the next one is creditors. You can write here, it's a current liability. Please don't use this prefix to here in the balance sheet. We don't need prefix in the balance sheet. It is just loan. Then now we have to write that creditors figure. This is 25,000. See whether you have any other liability. Yes, you have bills payable. Then the last item is also a current liability. Did you see there? Bank overdraft. Bank overdraft is a current liability. It's bank OD or overdraft. So that also a current liability. That is 33,000. Is it over? Did we record all current liabilities? Yes. Now see the adjustments once again. Closing stock, then bad debts, depreciation, outstanding interest is a current liability which we added already, added with the loan amount. Okay, so now we'll move on to the asset side. Asset side, you have to see the fixed assets given. The first fixed asset given there is building, but it's not having any adjustment. So you can directly write the amount in the outer column. So write building and the amount is 1,10,000. Write in the outer column directly. Then for machinery you have adjustments, so deduct that. $84,060. Then we can write closing stock when you start your current asset section. That is 2,30,000. See whether you have any other fixed assets other than building and machinery. We don't have any other fixed assets. Okay, now current assets, the next one you can write closing stock we wrote. Then you can write debtors, but debtors are having adjustment. So write in the inner column. Debtors 62,800 less further bad debts. What is further bad debts amount? 1,800. Then less new provision. New provision is 3,050. So outer column it is 57,950. So that's the effect of debtors. You must deduct further bad debts and new provision. Then which are the other current assets given there? Okay, we had motor car, which is actually a fixed asset. If you have space here, you write motor car on the top, which is actually a fixed asset. So you are supposed to write there, or else after your current asset you can write, no problem. Motor car is there 20,000. When you move in that order, motor car is given only after these items, so it's okay even if you write it at last. So then motor car, then provision we considered, car expenses, cash is there. Okay, cash of 800, which is a current asset, which we have to write. Okay, so now almost, yes, we finished all current assets. Just go through adjustments. Closing stock we recorded, bad debts we recorded, depreciation we recorded. Yes, so now the balance sheet is over. Just add and see whether this balance sheet tallies. Understood? So now we discussed almost 8 adjustments. We have included bad debts and provision, then outstanding interest also in this question. Don't by heart all these adjustments. You can't by heart, because in this chapter we have altogether 12 or 13 adjustments. You can't remember all these but by the end of the year. So better you learn it, you understand the concept, you understand why you are writing it 2 times and where it should be written first, what should be done in balance sheet. All these you must understand and learn. Don't by heart. Okay, then it will be easier when you practice.